Hey guys, welcome back to PristineZReads. So today I'm going to be doing the Chinese New Year book tag. So yes, I know that today is Valentine's Day, but I don't want to do a Valentine's Day book tag. I want to do a Chinese New Year book tag because yes, my upload day is Sunday, but I really wanted to do a Chinese New Year book tag. So if you didn't know, I am Chinese. Yes, big shocker. My friends are like, it's always so shocked when I tell them that I am Chinese. But yes, I don't speak it very well though, just saying. So anyways, yeah, again, this book tag that I'm going to be doing is not originally mine. I just found it on YouTube. And yes, I want to do it because even though I'm not like super Chinese, I am Chinese by blood. I just don't speak it or keep in step with all the Chinese customs and traditions very much. So yeah, I still feel like I should do something to honor my heritage. Let's get started. First of all, let me explain Chinese New Year to those of you who may not know what it is. Chinese New Year is also like Lunar New Year, and it's basically the New Year marked on the moon, you know, lunar moon. In the Chinese culture, it's a really big thing. They all have all these like crazy parades, this week-long celebration. You give out money to kids. I get money. Anyways, no. Just get started then on the tag. So, the first thing is house cleaning on New Year's Day. Now, this is part of a Chinese New Year superstition. You're supposed to clean your house thoroughly on New Year's so that you'll avoid good fortune being swept away and to clean out all of the old year's bad luck. So yes, very superstitious. I'll just tell you that I don't believe one whiff of that. My family does not clean our house thoroughly on Chinese New Year Day. So yeah, but that's the first question of the tag. So name a book you may unhaul. And for that, it will definitely be Float by Laura Martin. I have a video on why I hate that book so much, so I'll leave it in the description. You can go check it out if you would like. But yes, definitely that book. Moving on to question number 2. So a family reunion dinner / meal. So another part of Chinese New Year is the big family gatherings. Usually my family does meet with our extended family. But of course we can't do this year because of COVID. Usually a family reunion dinner thing. So, name a fictional family that you would want to spend time with having a meal together. And I'll definitely say the family from the Hagenheim series by Melanie Dickerson. You know, Duke Wilhelm and Lady Rose. I love that series so much. I have an entire playlist of reviews of that if you want to check it out. It's also going to be in the description. Yes, that family is just so amazing. There are so many awesome characters in there, and it would be actually super cool to have a meal with them. So yeah, moving on. So number 3, Kung Hei Fa Choi. That's a Chinese New Year greeting that basically means I hope you get rich. So again, Chinese, very weird, superstitious. But yes, I probably didn't even pronounce that right. Basically means I hope you get rich. So yeah, anyways, so the book for this question is a book that brightens up your day. And for me, like my go-to feel-good book that I always read when I just need something like kind of light and fluffy, when I don't want to read like any action or fantasy things, I always read The Fairest Booty by Melanie Dickerson. This is just like my go-to fluffiness book because it's just so sweet. Anyways, I wouldn't say it's actually the lightest book out there, but this is just, I usually just read the fluffy moments when I want fluffiness. Anyways, yeah, so that book will never not make me smile. So yeah. Okay, so number 4 is the red envelopes. So in Chinese this is like Lycee. It's basically a thing where you give money around, and usually it's by your older relatives or your parents or your grandparents, and they give money to like your kids and stuff. So you basically just give them money because, I don't know, it's Chinese New Year. don't really know, probably should know. But yeah, anyways, name a book gifted to you by your family. I remember I think one of the first books I got from my great aunt was Tuesdays in the Castle by Jessica Day George. That was when I was about like 7, I think. It wasn't for Chinese New Year, it was like for Christmas. But yeah, it was one of the first books that I got from like my extended family. But yeah, it was actually a pretty good book. Definitely strictly like fantasy. I definitely wouldn't say it's like amazing, but I liked it. It was good. And my sister likes it too now. So yeah. Number 5 is Fei Chan. I don't think I pronounced that properly. I probably didn't. But yeah, these are basically these paper decorations that you put up at Chinese New Year. And they basically say stuff on them in Chinese that are like, you know, good luck, blessings, etc. Yeah, actually my family does not put them up. We just leave our Christmas decorations up. In fact, we still haven't taken down our Christmas decorations yet. Fun fact. Anyway, so the book is a book that has a cover so pretty you would want to use as wall decor. Now, whew, I gotta think about that one. I don't know, I mean, like, for something that I'd actually put on my wall, I don't know. It would have to be, like, really, 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 really pretty that I would have to put it on my wall. I don't know, I can't think of any book that I would actually, like, use the cover as wall decor, but, I mean, a book that has definitely one of the prettiest covers that I like is The Huntress of Thornbeck Forest by Melanie Dickerson. I mean, just looking at it, it looks like kind of mysterious because you can't see the top half of her face, but it's just so, it has these kind of like green forestry vibes to it, but it's like, I don't know, it's just really pretty. And sorry if I sound really weird, but yeah, basically the book cover is just really pretty. I don't think I would use it as wall decor necessarily because it's kind of like a weird thing to have on your wall, but yeah. Moving on. So next is the Chinese New Year candy box. And this candy box tradition, my relatives used to, so when you have your family over, this is what my family does. We have a ginormous candy box that you're supposed to like give candy to your relatives basically when they come over. At least that's what my family does. So yeah, basically all I have to do is show you my bookshelf. So this right here is the bookshelf in my bedroom. As you can see, I don't have that many books on this bookshelf. Ignore the ones on that top shelf to the right. Those are like my school yearbooks and other personal things. But yeah, all the others are like my books. But yeah, that's my upstairs bookshelf, and then there's the one in like our reading room, which basically has the majority of my books. Although, as you can see, they're also mixed with like other books. At the bottom shelf there, we have like a bunch of magazines and comic books. And then in the closed bookcase, we have other books too that aren't like books that I normally read. And then of course on the left shelf, we have mostly my siblings' books, which are like kiddie books. And yeah, so basically I read mostly that closed bookcase and the tall bookcase, and then of course my upstairs bookcase is where I keep my absolute favorite books, and usually the ones I've got with my own money. So, next question is the famous Hong Kong Chinese New Year parade, and in case you don't know about this, basically every year in Hong Kong they throw a ginormous parade that has like tons of people dressed up in like lion costumes, and then the costume of, yeah, basically just lots of costumes. They play lots of instruments, and there are tons of firecrackers, and it's just a really big deal. I've never been to it before because I haven't been to Hong Kong, but I probably will one day, whether I like it or not. Anyways, so the question for the book is a book that features two or more cultures, or a POC. So, because it's Chinese New Year, why don't we play off a Chinese fairy tale classic, Mulan? So, this is from Melanie Dickerson's Hagenheim series, The Warrior Maiden, and if you don't know, this series basically like a spin-off of classic fairy tales, and this one is a spin-off of the tale Mulan, and this is actually really good. It's not like Chinese specifically, it's actually Lithuanian, but yes, I picked this because we were going with Chinese. It's kind of like Lithuanian slash German, because actually the Milan in here is Lithuanian, but then since it is a romance, obviously the guy she meets is Wolfgang and he's German. So yeah, you've got the German Lithuanian thing going on here, but I kind of classify this in my head as like partly Chinese because Mulan, the story of Mulan is like Chinese. Anyways, moving on. So the last question, and as 2021 is the year of the ox, actually, let me explain Chinese zodiac first. So the Chinese also have a kind of stupid thing called the zodiac. I don't believe in it, but they have basically a bunch of like animals, and depending on what year you're born in, you're a certain animal. And then of course they can use these animals to like predict these certain people's personalities and futures, etc. It's basically like the horoscope of the Western world. So yeah, obviously I don't believe in that. If you must know, I was born in the year of the pig. No comment. But anyways, this year is the year of the ox. So oxes are supposed to be diligent, dependable, and ultimately at heart homebodies. Homebodies. So basically I have to name a character who is hardworking but also prefers to stay home instead of partying. And for that, I'd actually, it might come as a surprise, but I'd actually name Sam from the Outlaws of Time series by N.D. Wilson. And okay, since Sam is an interesting kid with lots of interesting powers, he doesn't actually have a lot of chances to like stay home from partying, but taking that kind of personality type and expanding it a bit, ultimately it's an introvert. I am the type of person who would do that. I would stay home instead of partying somewhere. But yeah, Sam is really hardworking. He knows how to get his job done, and ultimately like perseverant, and he's diligent and maybe not so dependable, but he is diligent for sure. He is definitely an introvert, he is definitely an introvert and would go solo if given the opportunity. So that about wraps up this book tag, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope I gave you a little bit more of insight into the Chinese New Year if you didn't know so already. Although I'm probably not the best authority on Chinese New Year because I don't speak Chinese. I probably did not pronounce those two Chinese phrases correctly. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys had a great Valentine's Day / Family Day weekend / Chinese New Year weekend. Oh my goodness, 3 holidays in the same weekend. But yeah, it's actually great because I got to have, my siblings and I got to have no school on Friday because it was Chinese New Year. So we have an extra long weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Anyways, yeah, enough of that weirdness. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up down below and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. I do plan to be starting a new series of reviews on one of my favorite mystery series ever. So make sure to join me back here next week, and I'll see you guys then. Bye!